petty, spiteful thing, but I'll take it.
Hey, Chef, wherever you are, because I can't see you.
How about now?
I see him. I see him.
There you go. So this is me, Chef, right here.
Why does everybody suddenly get quiet whenever I get on? All the and then everybody gets quiet.
Class is in session.
I know, right? Okay, Chef, this is me here waving my hand.
Well, I see you, but you're waving your hands, not in the camera, so that's okay.
Oh, well, I have another camera set up. So if you see one that says Jay Phillips and one that says Janae Phillips, both of them are me. I just wanted to be able to see you here and for you to see my hands while I work on the other camera.
Okay, I see you.
Okay.
All right. That's good. That's all right. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do this evening. And is it me? Is this getting tough or something? The class seems to get smaller and smaller each week. All right, y'all are the stalwart few. So you're gonna cut a little bit, and then we're all gonna cook together. And so if this works, if you have everything together, if you went to the culinary school to pick up your product this week, then you should be straight. You have everything. If you didn't, that's okay. You can still just kind of play along. And the cooking part that we're doing this week is more experiential. It's if you've already looked at your lab assignment, the artifacts you need to turn in for grade, this cooking is not part of your grade. But something we're going to do a little bit starting tonight. We'll do a little bit almost every week. But before we do, I'm going to share my screen so that we're going to have a little chat about something incredibly important. Some of you have already done and turned in and submitted the lecture assignment. And so you may be already old professionals when it comes to this very significant topic. Y'all remember seeing anything this week about mise en place?
Yes.
Mise en place?
Yes. Yes.
Look, in our world, in the restaurant world, we live and die on this principle. Every single shift, every day. This is something that we can't get lazy about. If we do, we come into the restaurant one evening because I'm just tired or I'm having a bad day and I'm a little slow, so I don't get all of my mise done. I just shot myself in the head. Yeah. That's why we float around this term that I'm sure everyone's heard. You got to come to work with your game face on. In this world, especially in a commercial kitchen, we can't afford to have a bad day. And so even on our bad days, we have to turn something on or off in our brain that just says, get busy, get the work done. Because 5:30, when the reservations start, that little ticker tape in the kitchen, here's the next order. Here comes the next order. About 5 or 5:30, whenever the restaurant opens for dinner service, for lunch service, for breakfast service, once the tape starts, once that tickety-tickety-tickety-tick, it doesn't stop, and it doesn't stop for hours. And we really can't afford to just, okay, I'm going to stop and I'm going to dice an onion every time I have an order that requires me to use onion. If that's what I do, I never get a customer served because I'm always going to be behind, always behind. Mise en place is so very important. Those of you that saw the videos already and already did the work, what does mise en place mean?
Things in place.
Everything in place, to put into place, everything in its proper place. Everything in its place. All too often, we just refer to our food prep, slicing and dicing and weighing and measuring. That's important. It's significant, yes, but we also need to gather our saucepans or saute pans, our tongs, our spoons, the plates that we're going to present our dish on. Everything has to be in our station and ready to go. And you've got to think ahead. So if I'm in a hot station and I'm going to do curry at my station, you are going to do curry at your station. In the course of a restaurant shift, you're not going to do one serving of curry, right?
Right.
You're only doing one serving. We should have never put that on the menu. You're going to do 20, you're going to do 50, you're going to do 75 servings. Are you going to do all that in one pan? No. So you're going to gather, maybe a dozen, and to each order, you'll use a fresh, clean pan. And when you've gone through 3 or 4, 5 or 6 pans, those go to the dish pit. You're continuing to work at your station. The dirty pans that went to the dish pit come back to you, and they pick up the next round of dirties, and this rotation keeps going. And so that's true for your pots and pans and your tongs and your spoons, and it should be true for your food, your ingredient prep as well. Blah, blah, blah. This is what it means. All of your equipment, all of your food, everything at your station before. That's really the key word for that number one definition. Before service begins, we gather everything together. Okay, everything in its place. So here's more or less, here's what it looks like on a day-to-day basis. Kind of your step 1, step 2, all the way around. The plan oftentimes is done for you until you reach a certain place in the kitchen, a certain status. When you are the chef de partie of a particular station, when you're the department head or the shift leader for that station, you will be number one. You are planning that station's work for the day or for the shift. You're prioritizing, you're inventorying what you already have. Perhaps you have a par list. Some of these terms may be fairly new, but you've had these terms the last couple of weeks in your key terms. That par list is important so that you don't overproduce, but also not underproduce. If you've got regular static things on your menu, so you need 2 pounds of diced onions. Before you just jump in and start dicing onions, you do a quick little inventory. Okay, I've got about 1 pound of onions already diced. That tells me my par is 2 pounds. Do the math, quick, easy math. I've got 1 pound of onions that I need to prep as part of my mise before the shift. Gather all the tools. Number 3, collect everything that you're going to need and bring that to your station, as well as 4, gathering all of the ingredients that you're going to need. To execute a recipe, we're going to do a little test this evening, and we're going to make curry without me giving you a specific recipe. Don't be scared, because you're going to do just fine. Everybody's done just fine. Step 5, you're going to prep all your ingredients. We're about to do that. And then step 6, you would set up your station according to, so you're going to set up your individual station, your cutting board. This is getting ready to do your prep. But then after your prep is all done, after your mise is done, that's our culinary shorthand. We just say the mise. Once your mise is all done, then I've got all my little teeny bowls, my mise bowls. Then when orders start coming in, cooking is nothing more than assembly. If I have everything set and ready to go. Here's just another. This is a little more typical on a restaurant line. And that mise is gathering everything. So some things, what do you notice? Call out a few things that you notice about this station right here.
Seems like there's ingredient lists for possible meals.
Yeah. So if you see my cursor right up here, most restaurants, in addition to our meat cost, live and die on consistency. So there's a restaurant in Conway that it's a fairly popular restaurant. The owner's a friend. I won't say the name of the restaurant, so we won't badmouth anybody. The first time I ever ate at that restaurant, I had a white chocolate creme brulee, part of an office thing. And that was just about the most amazing white chocolate creme brulee I'd ever put in my mouth. And so the second time I ever went to that restaurant, if I remember right, my wife and I were on a date. I think we went there before going to a Michael Bublé concert in Little Rock. We lived in Conway, and we lived up on Pagey Mountain. She's in the other room. She may come in here and correct me because I get stuff all the time. But I had that white chocolate creme brulee again. And, it just wasn't quite as good. I was disappointed. And I believe the last time I ever ate in that restaurant, it was my father-in-law's birthday, and had that white chocolate creme brulee again, and it was pretty vile. Creme brulee is just a lovely custard. It should be velvety, should be smooth, with a little firmness to it. And if it comes out runny and like runny scrambled eggs, that's the wrong answer. And the lack of consistency, the quality going downhill each time, kind of turned me off of going to that restaurant. So I haven't been back. That's kind of how I roll. So having lists up here that tell you what to do, how to build a salad or sandwich or whatever kind of dish. What else do you see? What else do you notice about any of this right here?
What I noticed is he got all of like it's kind of like a buffet, but he got like all of his he got like the all of his stations organized.
Yeah, it's all organized. And it kind of looks like a buffet. Everything
Yeah,
in place, right?
Yeah, it does. It does.
It
sort of look like a salad buffet.
Kind of like a salad buffet.
Mm-hmm.
He's got little, you notice he has these measuring cups,
Yeah.
measuring spoons.
Mm-hmm.
It's very important to control food cost. And in the kitchen, one of the ways we control food cost is by consistently using the same amount of product to execute a recipe or to build a plate, build a dish. So I think I shared with y'all that I do from time to time kind of like a little bit of Taco Bell. And my wife and I last night, got home late, a little bit tired, blah, blah, blah. We go to the Taco Bell. I get my crunchy tacos. I'm not fancy. I'm plain, just plain crunchy tacos with mild sauce. Don't need the hot sauce. I don't need the fire sauce. The devil's sauce.
I love the mild sauce.
None of that. Just the mild sauce. The devil sauce makes my tailpipe hurt about a day or two later. Don't want none of that. Don't have nothing to prove. But I get 2 tacos that's loaded with cheese. 2 tacos that have about 8 or 3 little strings of cheese on the taco. I'd rather them all be the same. If I only get 3 strings of cheese, then I know to order extra cheese.
Yep.
Give me a handful of cheese on all of it.
See, what I did was I get the 2 burritos, and on my burritos I get like extra cheese on it. It'd be good.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay. With that little bitty dance through mise en place, I want you to take a look at this little list right here. Okay. I'm going to leave this up for a minute. If you got pencil and paper, I'd like you to jot this down because I'm going to unshare my screen in a little bit. I'll share it back again in a little while. I don't care that you do this stuff in this exact particular order. Okay. I'm not telling you what order to do this stuff in, but at the very, very least for your lab, if you've looked ahead, if you haven't already done your lab assignment, you should be sending a picture that has pasted garlic, chiffonade of your spinach, and concassade 2 concassade tomatoes. If you only picked up 1 tomato from the culinary school, that's fine. Then give me just one tomato. But those are part of your lab. Okay. You're going to take number 3, the minced garlic, and at least some of that garlic, go a little bit further and paste it. Number 4 and number 5. 3, 4, and 5 are that's part of your lab assignment. So be ready to do those and snap pictures of those while you go, and just save those pictures so you can put that together for your lab assignment. The rest of this stuff, hopefully you picked up a carrot. You should have picked up a potato. These things are very, very common in Indian curry. And that's the kind of curry we're going to be dealing with today. Lime, quarter the lime so it's ready. You can squeeze the lime on the top of your curry when it's done. If you picked up a little bundle of cilantro, finely mince that cilantro. That's going to go on your curry if you want it. Your curry is going to be yours. Okay, there are a few things that we'll all do kind of the same, but this is all the produce. So from a sanitation standpoint, we can do all of this, clean and kind of wipe the board a little bit as you go. The next step will be we're going to peel and devein shrimp all together. The 1 or 2 of you, 3 or 4 of you that are allergic to shrimp, kind of watch while we do this. You didn't pick up shrimp. You're just going to have a vegetable curry. If you have chicken, you can do chicken curry. The process is going to be almost the same, but I'll talk about that when we get to it. So if there are no particular questions, I'm going to keep my chat open as well. So while we're going, you can feel free to type in the chat or unmute your microphone and ask a question. But I like to have everybody's camera on and everybody's microphone muted. Mute your microphone so we don't have any other background noise. I'm gonna unshare. Yes, Cherokee, the same as what I just mentioned with the shrimp. If anything that you're allergic to, obviously you don't have to use that. So if you're allergic to lime, you don't have to use lime. If you don't like lime, I think it's amazing on this curry, a final little squeeze, but you don't have to use it if you don't want to. Okay, is everybody pretty good with jotting this down?
What's the last number? I mean,
Do what?
because I'm on number 7. So was that it? Because I thought we had like 8.
Yes. Do you not see it on your screen?
Mm-hmm.
Number 8 is mint cilantro.
Okay, thank you, Chef.
You're welcome. So now I can kind of see everybody while we go with with your cameras on, with your microphones muted. Kelsey, mute your microphone.
Okay.
Okay. Everybody needs to be standing up. We don't cook in a kitchen sitting down. Okay. All of your chopping, your slicing and dicing, everything gets done. See if you can angle your cameras down so I can kind of watch your hands. I would like to see hands, cutting boards. Okay. Those 8 items, whichever of those you're going to do, again, there are 3 that are part of your lab assignment for today. Take the minced garlic, a little bit of it, and go to a paste. So you should have pasted garlic, chiffonade spinach or basil, and your concassé tomato. Okay. You can go ahead because your rice is going to take, Samuel, I'll get to you in just a second. Your rice is going to take, depending on the size of your saucepan, the lid, blah, blah, blah. Your rice is probably going to take anywhere from about 10 to 12 minutes, maybe 14 or 15 minutes. And so that's something you can kind of get started now or get started first. The ratio of water to grain with plain white rice, basmati, jasmine, long grain rice. We're using basmati rice. If you picked it up from the culinary school, it's 2 to 1. So 2 cups of water to 1 cup rice. 1 cup water to a half a cup rice. If you picked your rice up in a kind of the small, what Jay has right there, is that full or about half full? I can't say about half full, maybe a little bit more than half full. Yeah, so you need about a cup and about a cup and a half of water to that amount of rice. That what Jay was just holding up. Hold that up again. If everybody got the same amount, the same thing, you need a cup and a half, maybe a little over, cup and 2/3 of water to that much rice. But it's 2 to 1. So just there you go. Go with that. Get it started. We are not going to cut together. You've got your prep list. I'd like us to spend really, if I think we can kind of keep this inside of about 40 minutes or so. Cut away, slice and dice, weigh and measure. I'll give you one little peek. If I can move one of these cameras.
Hey, Chef, I had one of those containers filled and it was about 1 1/3 cups
1 1/3 cup
of rice.
Yeah. So, yeah, go, well, double that of water if you want the whole thing. That's, if there's only two of you at home, if you're going to cook tonight, this is your dinner for tonight for just two of you. That's a whole bunch of rice. And if you like rice as much as we do, then that's maybe not enough rice. If you're going to use the potato, make sure after you cut open the potato, you put the potato in water, because it may sit for a little bit. So here's some of my prep, some of my me's. We'll do shrimp later. Okay, Samuel, I didn't want to just blow you off. If you're there or around, you had raised your hand earlier. So if I already answered a question, okay, fine. If you still have question.
I was just letting you know that I'm currently on my phone because I'm trying to log into my laptop, but it's having some difficulty. So it's gonna be a little bit hard to show you my hands with
Okay.
keeping my phone standing up.
All right. Oh, that's great. Samuel, that's perfect. That's just fine. Jay, I'm glad to see you working on looks like a little more stable table this evening. It's not rocking around. That's good. That's gonna be nice and safe. I noticed Tara went right to the limes. I love lime. But a little trick, if you don't want to smell like onions and garlic all night, Tara, if you've got one more lime, you might want to cut that lime after you've cut everything else. Then you'll have lime on your hands that'll kind of take over the onion and the garlic. Oh, you got plenty of limes. You can make limeade. So Evelyn, I'm going to send you a little message. Y'all are looking so good. I'm going to try to blow these up just a little bit. Good, Terry, that's looking really good. Y'all be mindful. Y'all be mindful of especially the carrot and the potato. If they take a while to cook, and so they're going to go in the saute pan raw, and the chicken stock is going to help cook them. But if they're really big, try to cut them maybe about the size of your pinky fingernail, about that big around. Then that's small enough. The same with your potato. That'll be small enough that it'll cook easily in the pan with the amount of chicken stock that we're going to use. Now, TK, your technique is really good. I've got a little pet peeve. I share this with everybody. Unless you have cuts on your hands, I really prefer you to take the gloves off. Here's the thing: gloves, from a sanitation standpoint, gloves really make us lazy. And so there's a time to use gloves. We'll be talking about that before the semester is over a lot. But when we're just doing prep and we're handling raw product that isn't going to be consumed in this fashion, we're going to cook later, then it's actually best to use bare hands. I know you're going to smell like onions, and you're going to smell like garlic for about 3 or 4 days. But man, welcome to culinary school. That's just going to be how it is. Thank you for being a good sport.
No problem, Chef. Thanks.
Awesome. Hey, Samuel, that technique is great. Your guide hand, your knife resting against that great finger of your guide hand is just right. We haven't learned. You may not see my air quotes up here, but we haven't learned really proper dice method or technique. And what you're doing right now is really, really good for where we're at. Properly guiding, yes. Good work there. Hey, Caleb, from what I can tell, that's already a pretty nice looking paste. You know, sometimes in this format, it's hard to tell. You've got off-white garlic, off-white against a white cutting board. And none of us have like TV quality, cinema quality lighting and all of that kind of stuff. But from what I can tell, right on. Good job.
Hey, Chef, is it okay if I sit for the moment? Because me standing up in this TV tray is real short.
Well, yeah, you got to do what you got to do. Cherokee, that's a very good rock of your knife. So that's spot on. Really, really good. And I like seeing you scrape the board with the spine of your blade. That's pretty much perfect. Tara, no worries. We have technology issues, and we just kind of work around those technology issues as best we can. So welcome back.
So are we making a paste or are we just mincing?
So for the lab assignment, the lab
Mhm.
assignment is for paste.
Okay.
For curry,
So
it
I can
doesn't
just paste
matter if
some
you.
later.
Yes.
Okay.
Chef, quick question.
Yes. Who's? I've got. If you can see the screen, I'm kind of spotlighting.
It's Samuel.
Okay.
What are the lab assignments? Just I haven't gotten to look at them yet, but what are they, just so I know to like separate for right now?
Chiffonade. So chiffonade of your spinach, save some of that.
Okay.
Blah blah blah. Concassé tomato,
All right.
paste your garlic. Those three things. Alex, it looks really good. Just for future reference, I would prefer you use a chef knife
Thank you.
rather than a sentoku. Thank you. Yes, Aaron, that looks really good. You're getting a good mince. Just remember, okay, this is true for all of us. When you've got those, your three fingers on the tip side of the knife, and you're pivoting while you're mincing and processing the garlic, be mindful of your pinky, especially. Be mindful of your pinky and your thumb that's just kind of floating, so you don't inadvertently cut your pinky with the very tip of the knife. That happens sometimes. So just be mindful of it. That's all. It's looking very good. Yeah, Aaron, that's even better if it's comfortable for you. I'm a 3-finger, and so if 4 fingers work for you, great. Even safer for your pinky. That's usually the finger that gets cut the most. So Kelsey, in answer to your question, yes, that part of the lab assignment. So what you're going to submit for this week's lab grade is your concassé tomato, your chiffonade of the spinach, and pasted garlic. So you kind of need to cut those. Evelyn, your chiffonade looked pretty good. I just caught a little bit of it.
With the cilantro, we take the leaves off the stem, or we can leave it on.
You can leave them on. Cilantro, even the stems of cilantro are really, really, really mild. They're not real hard, strong, and flexible or
Okay.
fibrous, so they can cut down. What is most correct is to remove the leaves and just use the leaves.
Okay.
So there you go.
All right. Thank you.
Kelsey, I don't understand the you asked the same question. So yes, you need to concasse the tomato, paste the garlic, and chiffonade the spinach. So hey, guidance, you probably need I think the lab assignment said something like half an ounce or something like that. And a half an ounce of spinach is a whole bunch of spinach, actually. You know, yeah, what you got in your hand is probably just fine. You need 6 or 8 leaves, maybe.
Okay.
8 or 10 leaves. That's about it. Yeah.
Chef, I don't think I grabbed enough of the spinach leaves.
Thanks, Chef.
Uh-huh. What was that? Somebody else was saying?
I was saying that I don't think I grabbed enough of the spinach leaves.
Go with what you have. No, that's fine. Yeah, that's all right.
All right. Okay.
Fine. Oh yeah. Yeah. I had somebody in one of the in-person classes last week misread. No, it wasn't the in-person class. It was Caleb. Was it you last week? You picked up like 82
It was me.
of spinach instead of.
It was me and Caleb.
Both of you? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I was told, fill a bag up with like 3 cups.
So you had enough for spinach salad.
Yes, we
Yep.
ended up actually here at the house making a big old saute with it.
With bacon?
Yes, sir. And Brussels
Hey.
sprouts.
That's the best. Oh, Brussels sprouts and bacon. You know what really is the best side dish of all?
What's that?
Maybe turnip greens, Brussels sprouts, saute it with bacon, and then throw the Brussels sprouts away and put on your plate whatever's left. That's one of my favorite side dishes of all time. I will return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Yes,
Chef,
chef.
I think my rice is done. Well, I know it's done, but
When your rice is done, when your rice is looking like it, leave the lid on, turn off the heat, and just leave the lid on. That's going to help it kind of fluff up. We'll come back to the rice in about, 15, 20 minutes.
okay. Got my water boiling for my tomato.
It's good.
We should
Good.
have a rolling boil, right?
Yes, rolling boil. Little ice bath kind of standing by on the side. If you need to get up and leave and go get you some ice really quick, then that's all fine and dandy as well.
Yeah, I haven't put the tomatoes in there yet, but I will. Thank you.
wait till we put all this together and then y'all get to eat.
Yes.
It's a terrible class, isn't it? Isn't this just terrible?
Don't beat you enough.
No, Evelyn, no. So if you would just quarter the lime, leave the rind. Yes, just quarter it. That way you'll be able to squeeze it. Some juice over the top of your adds an amazing flavor at the end. It's completely different if there's lime versus no lime. Now, if
That's true.
lime, you're just going to settle for really, really good. That's okay. I'm kind of being a little bit sarcastic. You can't have lime. You can't have lime. Don't do that.
Hey, Chef.
Who's that? Is that Terry?
Just Terry. Am I
Yeah.
cutting this cilantro properly? Because I was going in that fan formation, the way we do garlic,
Uh-huh.
like that. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay. Can you see it well?
I can see it.
Okay.
If you do it just like mincing the garlic, where you put your
Yes.
your guide hand
Okay.
right there, you go.
That's right.
There you go. That's it. That's perfect.
Okay.
Good job, Terry. Very good.
Thank you.
The carrot and the potato are just kind of something extra for this week. An Indian curry, almost all of them have potato in it.
That is true.
Yeah. So as I'm saying this, yeah, Evelyn, you got a bad potato. So I'm sorry. Just leave it out. If you have potato already that you want to use, okay, fine. But if you, oh, look, you got potato. All right, Caleb, did you have a question?
Yes, Chef. Yeah, the front half of my carrot has turned to mush, so I'm only gonna have half carrot. Is that all right?
That's yeah. If you want to use carrot at all, that's what I was getting at. All of these things that we're cutting, that we're slicing and dicing, when we actually assemble the curry, you're going to eat it. So I want you to cut as much or as little as you want to use. Cherokee, we haven't learned. So when I say dice a potato, we haven't learned really a proper dice. And so just like cutting the carrot, if you cut this in strips and then cut the strips into like boards and then cut those boards down into cubes, you want something about the size of your pinky, your pinky nail, fingernail, no particular shape. It's really just kind of a rough chop. So are you able to change your, this will help, because kind of what Evelyn is doing right now is pretty okay. So if you changed your view to grid view, then you're going to see everybody. And Evelyn, if you want to peel it, that's fine. If you don't want to peel it, that's fine as well. Y'all should know, especially something like a potato, most of all the vitamins and minerals in the skin of the potato.
That's right.
The white meaty stuff inside is just starch. But if you don't like how it feels, if you want to peel the potato, that's all fine. It's good and fine.
Chef, does the tomatoes go in at the same time as the carrots?
Whenever we saute it,
Yes.
no,
No?
yeah, they will not go in together at the same time. So we'll talk about that in a minute, but the tomato doesn't take any time to cook at all, really, compared to the carrot and the potato. Those take a while to cook. And so we build this stuff in the pan according to building flavor, as well as kind of respecting the amount of time it's going to take for each item to cook. If we dump everything in all at one time, then some stuff's still going to be raw, like carrot and potato, and some things like onion and garlic, the tomato might even be burned. So we're gonna do this in a particular order.
All right, Chef. I was just wondering, just so if I could like put them in the same bowl, but that's all right.
It really, no, I know that at home we may be a little bit limited in resources as far as enough Dixie cups and styrofoam bowls, salad bowls, and things like that. But in good mise en place, if you kind of think back to a couple of those pictures that we saw at the beginning of class, it really is best if we're able to keep every individual thing in its own little container, onion in its container, garlic in its container, so on and so forth, and not mix and match. People have nightshade allergies, for example. They would be allergic to tomato. If I have tomato in the same vessel as the onion and garlic, let's say, I can't use that onion and garlic for someone with that tomato allergy. Cherokee, that's right. What you're doing is spot on. So you're doing just fine. I'm sorry, Samuel, what were you saying?
Oh, I was just saying thank you, Chef.
Okay, yeah, welcome.
Hey, Chef.
Is that Terry? Yeah.
Yeah, this is Terry. Sorry. One thing I learned, well, I hope it's from watching one of those videos, the lectures that you sent. One of the videos that had one of the chefs who took asparagus, wrapped them in a paper towel, chives, wrapped them in a paper towel and cut them that way to keep the chives from spreading out. That's something I can implement on a regular, because I had never thought about that. One of the chefs
in one of the
lectures.
Okay.
Yeah, he took looks like chives, wrapped them in a paper towel, and began to dice it that way to keep them from spreading out when he cut them.
So he was holding on to them?
Yes.
He cut it in the paper towel?
Not well, he wrapped the middle, cilantro is, kind of long. In the middle of all the cilantro pieces, he took a paper towel, wrapped it with a damp paper towel, and began to dice the cilantro, holding it with the paper towel to keep them all together.
I don't know that I noticed that.
Yeah. He's one of the ones that had he showed the mise en place. He had the different glass cups, glass bowls with all the ingredients, and he took dice it. Yeah, okay. I have to screenshot it or something and send it to you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's something I learned from watching one of those videos.
Just let you know, Chef, I am back on the clock, but I'm still gonna be cooking until I get a call.
All right.
All right.
That's good, Tara. Some of those potatoes might be a little bit on the big side when we actually start cooking. That's okay. Might take a little bit longer to cook your potatoes. That's not a showstopper at all. So it's all good. That's more better. More better. Y'all like my grammar?
Chef, if we don't have any tomatoes, what else can we, is it concassé? Concassé?
Concassé?
Concassé?
Yeah, unfortunately, concassé is something that we only do to tomato. There's not another vegetable to concassé, and so if you don't have it tonight, if you don't have it right now, you just won't put it in your curry. But hopefully you're still able. You got time to either head to the culinary school or go pick up a tomato, so you get it done for the lab assignment. You just won't have it for your curry, and that's fine. No harm, no foul.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Chef.
Chef, quick question about the lab assignments.
Yeah.
How much of each do we need, just so I can separate, like I was asking earlier?
That's a really great question. And so the short answer on this lab, for example, there's a lab sheet. It's a PDF. So you download that PDF, and there's just a little place to put a little pile, like maybe a tablespoon each. Yeah, what Tara's holding up right now at the bottom of that page, Tara, is there there's not little silhouettes or anything, are there? It's blank. Yeah, because this one next week, the sheet is going to have exact silhouettes of different cuts. So this is just a little tablespoon or something like that is fine. I'm able to tell from a little bit. I know that's not very specific. Evelyn, for this, for doing the curry especially, there's really no such thing as dicing your potato or carrot too small. The smaller you dice these, the quicker it's going to cook. And curry really is kind of a quick cook dish. So you're probably just fine. Caleb, go ahead.
Yes, I was going to ask, so that little amount of garlic paste I did will be good, right?
Yes, sir. That's fine.
Cool. Thank you, Chef.
Yep. Okay, I don't want anybody to rush, because I certainly don't want there to be any injuries or anything like that. But in order for us to get everything done in a timely manner, we need to kind of wrap up this part of our mise in about the next 10 minutes. So if you could make sure you get, maybe have a little tomato, you got your spinach, your onion and garlic. You definitely need onion and garlic for your curry. And then reach in the fridge or get out the shrimp. Have that just kind of standing by. Give your board a little bit of a wipe. And make sure you have a separate little bowl for collecting your shrimp shells, in case, you can put those in a Ziploc, throw them in the freezer, and make you some shrimp bisque. takes quite a bit of shells to do that. So I like to collect all my shells and
I cut the dang tomato wrong. I didn't get to do it with y'all last week because I had to clock back in.
it's
But I'm supposed to take the seeds out, right?
yes.
Okay.
For concassé, yes, it's no skin, no seeds.
I took the skin off. I just sliced it wrong.
Okay.
Chef,
Evelyn,
then
thank
I definitely cut my tomatoes wrong because I missed all of last week, so I didn't know.
Okay. Now, y'all remember, this is a good opportunity for me to remind or announce whatever. If you miss a Zoom, that's fine. All of the demos are pre-recorded and they're in Blackboard. And every other week, like last week, next week will be the same. We're gonna cut together, and so you can watch those recordings of those Zoom sessions as well, and that'll keep you up to speed. Good, Alex. That's good. Oh, you got your chef knife out. Rock on. Yeah, thank you. Especially for what you're doing right now, the chef knife is really the only way to go. That Santoku is a Japanese knife. It's a Japanese style, and it's for that certain kind of food. It's become very popular in this country, but it's hard to do what we do professionally without that curved feature, if you will, of the French chef knife. Hey, Samuel, move your guide hand, move those fingers of your guide hand all the way down, like close to the tip of, yeah, then that becomes a pivot point. And you're going to go kind of a half fan shape while you're rocking the knife like that. And yeah, those fingers become the pivot. We'll get there. All right, let's try to wrap up in about 5 minutes. Those of you that are already done, you can just kind of stand by and we can stare awkwardly at each other. If you're standing by, you can get your shrimp out, get another, either a waste bowl, or if you want to collect your shrimp shells for future use, I'm also I'm gonna recommend your paring knife. And so we're gonna devein with a paring knife. French knife or your chef knife is gonna be a little too big and a little unsafe to use for this purpose. So get your paring knife out, and then we'll be ready to go in about 4 more minutes.
Chef, this is Alex. I had a question.
Yes, sir.
So I guess I misunderstood when we spoke last, but I uploaded a Concassé video for last week.
Yeah, okay. What was I haven't seen it yet. That was the assignment, right? Was that there?
I think it was Concassé or segment.
Yeah, so either one. That's fine. If you uploaded the Concassé, then that's right. The segment was the fruit segment, the orange. There were 3. I don't remember off the top of my head right now what the 3 videos were from last week. Concassé is one of those.
I did
maybe?
Concassé. Yeah, I thought it was garlic minced, and I did chiffonade, and then I did Concassé. So I think I got it backwards.
What do you mean backwards? There are 3 separate videos.
Yeah, so I uploaded 3 separate videos, but I minced garlic, I did chiffonade, and then I did Concassé. So I don't know if I turned
Put
in
them
the
in the
right
right place. We'll figure it out.
Chef, was there something involving a carrot this week, or did I misunderstand that?
So there is nothing graded that involves a carrot this week.
Okay.
Yeah, so I added the carrot. I added the potato because those go with a curry. They go with this curry very nicely, rather well. We've rough chopped carrot, but also kind of getting you ready for next week. Next 2 weeks, all we're cutting is carrot. Y'all are going to get sick of it. That is exactly correct. And so those of you that had submitted, right after class last week, then you should already see those lab submissions have been graded already. And so even though the lab requirement was for video, because we all cut together in class, and I told y'all, go ahead and you could submit the photo evidence and just you shoot me a little note, and everybody did. And so that was just fine. You're absolutely right. For last week.
So, Chef, when the rice gets done cooking, yeah, do I put it in the pan, and then after that, do I put like all the ingredients in the pan?
No, don't put anything in any pan yet. When the rice is done, turn the burner off and leave the lid on the rice and forget about it. We'll come.
Okay, thank you.
Don't put anything in any pan yet.
Okay.
All right, let's get it all done in like 2 minutes. Have your board cleaned off. We need to have a whole nice clean area because we're about to do with shrimp. And shrimp can leave some pretty dangerous cooties all over everywhere. And we have to get used to the best. I mean, think like a doctor, think like a surgeon in the hospital. If that cutting board is ready for you to lay down and your brain surgeon is going to cut your head open, it's fine. If it's too dirty For you to have heart surgery and stuff on, then might need a little more wipe and a little cleany clean. We play with shrimp, and definitely they need to be cleaned up really good after we play with shrimp. We won't need the cutting boards anymore after the shrimp here in just a minute. If you're done with all the produce and you've wiped your board completely, you can go ahead and lay your shrimp out on the board, and we'll be ready to play with these shrimp. Now, y'all be sure if you just handled the shrimp, y'all be sure you wash your hands really good before you touch anything.
Chef, is this shrimp supposed to be pre-cooked?
No,
Huh?
the shrimp
Is it
is
sure-
not supposed to be pre-cooked. The shrimp
Because
shell on.
it sure does look pink.
It sure does.
Terry, yours is raw shrimp.
It is, but it's pink though. You know what I'm saying? But I know what it looked like, yeah. I think it's the type of shrimp.
It's the type of shrimp.
I'm good. I know I'm good.
All right. I'm going to move my camera and we're going to move on to this next step. Kelsey, are you already peeling your shrimp?
Yes, sir.
I didn't tell you to do that yet.
Oh, sorry, Chef.
Yeah, y'all, you gotta learn to just wait until chef tells you to do something. Otherwise, you might jump ahead and then burn something up.
Sorry, Chef.
It's all right.
Hey,
Oh,
Chef, this is Tara. I peeled mine before class, so sorry.
okay. Well,
Hey, Chef, did we put the
we're
tail?
all just overachievers. That's what it is. We're all just overachievers. What did you say, Kelsey?
I said, do we peel the tail off or leave the tail on?
How about you wait until I show you right now, and then we'll all learn together. But you're going to peel the tail off.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. If you've never done this before, very, very simple. I'm right-handed. I hold the back end of the shrimp in my guide hand or my left hand. I use my thumb and index finger, my middle finger, to I pinch the legs and then I pull away to one side. And then I use my right finger, my thumb, to pull all of that layer of shell off. when I get to the tail, the back end right here, if you just pinch where that very last joint is, if you pinch and pull at the same time, it's gonna come right out and you've got all this wonderful shell. Okay? And I'm gonna put that in this clean bowl. So go ahead and do that. You probably picked up, I don't know, 6 or 8 pieces of shrimp, 8 or 10 pieces of shrimp. And if you want to cook all of it for your dinner.
Okay, Chef, can you do that for me one more time?
Yeah.
I didn't catch it.
Yeah, I'll try to get it up here close enough to the camera. So I'm right-handed. I'm using my right hand. These 3 fingers are my pincher. Okay. Just grasp the shrimp with your pinch side, push down with your thumb, and you'll feel and hear the pop.
Oh, okay.
The legs kind of pop. And then it's like you're continuing to pinch. You automatically grab some of the shell and roll the shrimp out of that shell. What you're going to be left with is the tail. On that last joint of the tail, if you pinch right on that joint and pull the meat away, it pops right out of the tail.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah.
Got it.
Okay. Save these shells, legs as well.
Yes.
Mhm.
Stock.
Delicious, delicious seafood stock, shrimp stock. We're gonna make we may get a chance to do that even in this class, and we'll do some shrimp bisque.
Yeah.
All right. If y'all are still working on that, if you've never done this part before, you can kind of stand by and see. This is the deveining part. This is very, very important because I don't know if you can see, this shrimp's a really good example. There's this vein. It's not vein like a blood vessel vein. This is the shrimp's waist. Most of it is sand, so it's really gritty. It's just dirt. We want to get that out. Sharp paring knife. Just score under the skin. We're just cutting the skin. We're not cutting so deep that we fold the shrimp open. We're not butterflying. And when you get that open, now you've exposed that vein and it's kind of gray. You use your thumb. You can use your knife. You can use a toothpick. Pull that up. Do y'all see that?
Yes, Chef.
That's what we want to remove. And this is called deveining. You pull that up. There you go. We are not going to save that for any stock. Do that to each shrimp. If I'm doing a bunch, if I'm doing 20 pounds of shrimp, then I'm going to do this deveining under running cold water and just let that vein. See, sometimes you can see this right here. Sometimes there's a lot of dirt. And it makes you think that that's the shrimp's. Well, yeah, that's the shrimp's poop. And to put it mildly, kind of is. It's waste. Now, this last little step we're going to do with the shrimp here, just so that it cooks a little quicker for you this evening. You can leave the shrimp whole if you would like. It'll sit in the pan a little bit longer before you're ready to eat. Or I'll show you here in a second. What I prefer to do with this dish, especially for a nice quick dinner. There we go. So this is a 16 to 20 count shrimp, meaning there are 16 to 20 shrimp in a pound. So what I want to do, Kelsey, there shouldn't be anything to stir. If your rice is all done, just leave the lid on it and leave it alone. There's nothing, no need to stir it or play with it right
It was sticky.
Huh?
It was sticky. It was like sticking to the pan. I mean, not the pan, but the pot.
Is the pot off?
It's off.
Okay, just leave the lid on it. It'll unstick. I'm gonna cut this into like 4 little bite-sized pieces, and that is what I'm gonna put in my bowl. Here we go, little bite-sized pieces like this. Very good. Okay, cardinal rule, especially in a commercial kitchen, never, ever, ever, ever walk through the kitchen with your cutting board and knife on the cutting board. You always walk through the kitchen with the knife separate from everything else. Once you've done, finished cutting your, cleaning your shrimp, peeling it, deveining it, cutting it down in pieces if you want, then get rid of the board and your knife, wash your hands really well, wipe down the whole area really, really well. Don't touch anything, countertops, kitchen, pots, pans, don't touch anything after you've touched the shrimp until you wash your hands.
I'm so unorganized.
Now, in the restaurant world, we've got some quaternary sanitizer, and that's what we generally use to wipe everything down. We'll just use a sanitized solution and a towel. At home, we maybe a little bit of bleach, some kind of good disinfecting spray, cleaning spray, hot water and hot soapy water. Just be mindful of cross contamination, the cooties that exist on proteins, chicken, fish, shrimp, pork, beef. We can really make somebody sick. Okay, the rest of the stuff you're going to need now to finish off our mise en place. You've done your slicing and dicing. Let's get all this over here. You've done all your slicing and dicing. You've done all your weighing and measuring, just about. You should have, again, if you picked up your product from the culinary school, you should have a little container. Should have a little container that has some curry powder in it. You got some curry powder that's not like the grocery store curry powder. Open that up. Give that a good little smell. I made this on Tuesday. This curry powder comes by way of, I really shouldn't call him a friend. He's more of an acquaintance. Chef Suvir Saran is from central India. In the Indian tradition, the northern part of the country, curries are very mild. And the further south you go in the country, the curries get hotter and hotter and hotter. Indian curry is more regional, and then within each region, specific recipes of curry powder is familial. So this family has its own recipe, and that family has their own recipe, and so on and so forth and so on. And so this is kind of a variation. It's become my own, but it's very close to the curry powder that Chef Suvir Saran gave to me. This is made in any Indian home. Most all the spices are held whole. Whole spices last so much longer. And Samuel, that smells good, doesn't it? I dig it. Coriander, cardamom, cumin, a little yellow mustard seed, clove, whole cinnamon. These things keep their potency if we store them whole. And then some oils are released. Yes, there's turmeric in it. Use ground turmeric, because whole turmeric is kind of like a piece of ginger. It's just yellow inside. There's ginger in here. There's a little bit of sweet paprika. The main curry ingredient that if you smell curry from the grocery store, there is a little bit of fenugreek in here, and that's the main ingredient in the McCormick brand curry powder. Anyway, love this. You should have also picked up a little snort of some red curry paste. Curry paste is mostly onion, garlic, maybe some lemongrass, but an Indian spice called galangal. And so most everything that people typically have allergies of, those of you that have reported to me about specific allergies, I think you're perfectly okay with curry paste. But in all cases, we've got a family that we're pretty close to. We go to church with, and this family has a son who has a very, very severe peanut allergy. And reading labels, but even paying attention to where certain things are processed and made. I'm a big fan of when in doubt, leave it out. And so if you have concerns about what this contains, the ingredients of it, it's okay to just leave it out. Your curry will just be delicious. It may not be, in my words, very amazing, but it'll still be delicious and very, very nice. You should have a little chicken stock. Show me your chicken stock if you got chicken stock. You should have. Yeah, go ahead and pull the lid off of that. You should also have, mine's already open mine. Go ahead and open it. You should also have some coconut milk. This is the main, this is going to be the main attraction as far as the viscosity of our curry. So can opener, open you. Give me a little yes in the chat. Your rice is good and done and ready to go. It's just sitting there with the lid on it. Yes. You can give me a thumbs up or a yes in the chat. All right. Good. So now all you need, a burner nearby, and you need a saute. Okay. Saute pan.
Chef, will this work?
Yes, that's a saute.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Kelsey, turn your microphone off.
Okay.
Okay. I hope this isn't too close to the we're going to find out in a minute if this is too close to my camera. Oh, Evelyn, your laptop died. Can you see? Can you hear? Oh, good. Oil, you should have maybe a little bit of oil. You probably didn't pick any up, but just a little bit of vegetable oil, canola oil, olive oil. I keep oil in a squeeze bottle. That's kind of a restaurant way to do things. Give your pan a little snort of oil. While that's heating up, y'all go ahead and drain your potatoes. Those of you that cut potatoes and have potatoes in water, go ahead and take the time to drain those. Now, here's an important thought. listen, just because you prepped a certain amount of stuff doesn't mean you have to use all of it. Okay. I'll call it a rookie mistake. People overfill the pans all the time because, well, this is how much stuff I cut. Do just what seems reasonable to you. You don't have to saute an entire onion. Kelsey, no, you're going to need, you need the oil, a little vegetable oil, canola oil, olive oil, some kind of oil. You don't have any kind of oil? Okay, then you just need to stand by. You're going to need to wait and just hold all these ingredients until you have some oil. You're going to need some oil to do this. Okay, my oil's nice and hot now. And so we're going to start with onion. We want to sweat the onion, but we don't want the onion to go brown. Hey, Caleb, that's great. That's a nice view as well. Notice what I'm doing here. Now, if you've got carrot, if you've got potato, now's a good time to add carrot and potato. Again, just add some. And if, yeah, Terry, that's fine. If you're not hot enough yet, that's okay. Let this go with carrot and potato for a good, I don't know, a couple of minutes anyway. This is certainly not enough time to cook the potato. Carrot as well. It's going to take a minute to cook those. We're not cooking them all the way yet. Notice, contrary to what you see on the cooking channel or the Food Network, I haven't added any garlic. I haven't added garlic yet. You added garlic early, the garlic's going to burn, and we don't want to do that. Now, I'm going to put it, now that I can smell the potato, it has a certain smell that changes. When I start to pick up that smell, now I'm going to add a little bit of garlic. Or a lot if you like a lot, and I'm going to add the tomato. Add spinach now, if you're putting your spinach in. Wait a minute or so, and then I'm going to add the curry powder and the curry paste. Kelsey, yes, you can use butter. Curry powder, curry paste. And just spread these around. Kind of get the curry paste broken up just a little bit. That should start to smell really, really fragrant. And in goes my stock.
Can you go through how they go in one at a time again?
So little oil, then your onion. Sweat the onion a little bit, depending on the size of your onion, maybe a minute, minute and a half. Then add both, or if you're using these, add your carrot and potato. The carrot and potato saute a bit, stir those around, keep that moving. Let that go maybe 2 or 3 minutes. You'll smell, it's the starch on the outside. You'll smell potato, like fried potatoes. When you smell, you're going to add all 3 of these kind of at the same time. Add your garlic, add your spinach, add your tomato. If you're not using spinach, leave it out. If you don't want tomato, leave it out. Stir those around, saute those for maybe another minute. Then add your curry powder and curry paste. Stir in both of those just to break up the paste mostly, and then add your stock. And that's where I am right now. Leave the burner up. Leave the temperature hot. Want this to boil and bubble like you see going on right here. I'm just going to blow up. I'm going to blow up this. Now maybe you can see that a little bit bigger. I can't see you at all. So if you have a question, just ask it or put in a chat. That might be better if you just put something in the chat. What we want to do, the stock is going to do 2 things. It's cooking, especially your carrot and potato. But it's also going to add a layer of flavor all by itself. And as it reduces, that's why we have all this bubble. And you can see the steam coming off. Yes, Cherokee, add the curry powder and the curry paste before you add the stock. As the stock reduces, it adds more flavor. Reduction concentrates flavor. When we have reduced enough stock that now I can pull my spoon. When I pull my spoon, see how it cleans the bottom of the pan? Now I'm going to add the coconut milk. I'm just adding the full amount here, and that's going to be just fine and dandy. Stir all of this in, and then
My coconut milk looks too thick.
pour it all out.
You want to see it?
Pour it in there. Yeah, on the top of it, especially. It's
Okay, just checking.
It's like it's like its own fat. And
Okay.
heat of the pan is going to break it up. We'll melt it more or less.
Okay, I'm still waiting for it to reduce, but I want to make sure. I've never used coconut milk, so.
Yeah, so coconut water is one thing. Coconut milk, there's a really thick part of it, almost waxy.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a really, it looks almost like separated milk. It's curdled. Y'all notice, if you haven't already, I've not added any shrimp yet. Your first real significant cooking principle, I guess, of all of culinary school. The worst thing you can do is overcook shrimp. Added the shrimp while we sauteed the onions and the potatoes and the carrots be way overcooked, and it would be like shoe leather now. I mean, we don't want to do that. When we have the whole thing completely not quite there, I want to bring this to a boil, and it's pretty much there. You can see I've got places that's still not quite hot enough yet. This is where I'm gonna I'm gonna tighten up the sauce. I'll thicken it a little bit. And it's thickening by reduction. So in the same way that we reduced the chicken stock, we are also reducing the coconut milk, moving some of the water. And then when it cools, it'll be like gravy. It won't be gravy, it'll be curry. Actually is an Indian word, kuri, K-U-R-I, which means sauce.
Chef, do I add my potatoes and my tomato when I get done with the carrot?
Add your potato anytime you add the carrot. If you've already done that, yeah, add your potato. Give the potato a couple of minutes, and then
Okay.
your garlic and tomato, spinach.
Okay, gotcha.
When I've got a good boil like this, I'm turning the heat completely off, and then I add the shrimp. The residual heat is going to cook the shrimp, and I don't need the fire to do that. I've got the heat from the sauce. See this already? It's kind of hard to tell. You can't see it in this camera very well because of the lighting. Let's see. Yes, I'm going to zoom in on. You can see the opaque of the shrimp. This heat sauce is cooking the shrimp. Now my shrimp is going to be firm, rubbery. That's exactly what we want. Your shrimp, if everybody cut it like I did, is going to be done and ready. It'll take about 3 or 4 minutes. So tell me this at least. Hold on. There we go. Does your house smell amazing?
Yes.
You're welcome.
Yes, chef.
My vent hood kind of stole all the aroma.
What did? Oh, your vent?
Yeah.
Your hood?
Yes, sir.
Well, yeah, you got the power hood right there. Are you in a restaurant?
In a commercial kitchen. I am the kitchen coordinator for the Nehemiah House Union Rescue Mission.
Okay. That's a blessing.
Yes, sir. They helped me get my life right and let me stay on to work.
Well, and being able to cook there is, I mean, Caleb, the experience you're having, not to call you out from, everybody else, but the only real, I could use the term drawback of doing this class online in this way is that, we're all at home using home equipment but we're training for professional kitchens. And so in the in-person class, I mean, holy cow, everybody's at the culinary school and we're using commercial equipment. You know, Caleb, to be able to do that there with commercial equipment. I don't know if y'all just saw the message that Evelyn just put in, but I can't agree more. I actually had exactly that same thought. And some fresh. I've got some plain yogurt in my fridge. If I'd thought that before class, at least for my wife and I and our dinner, I would have made some naan. Do y'all know what naan is? Anybody not familiar with naan?
Like flatbread or something like that?
Yeah, it's kind of a flatbread. It's very, very delicious. Looked like Alex had Alex's sous chef was right there. Very interested in limes. I must be half cat. I love limes. This curry now.
When do we add the coconut milk?
Now, who was that?
TK.
TK, when your chicken stock is reduced to the point of you've got a really, really loose paste, then add the coconut milk.
How much stock do we add?
You probably got, did you get about a half a cup or so?
Yes, chef.
3/4 of a cup, add all of it.
Okay.
And then let it reduce. It reduces about 50 to 70%. You know, the paste doesn't reduce anymore. The curry powder, that certainly doesn't reduce. There's not much water there. And so the chicken stock reduces. The curry paste and the curry powder is going to tighten up that whole sauce.
Okay.
Chef, was there any black powder in that curry powder?
So define what you understand black powder to be.
I guess I meant to say black pepper, my bad.
Black pepper? There is no black pepper in this, no. There's a little bit of crushed red pepper. I like to use chipotle. Chipotle is a little more potent than crushed red pepper, but I do like a little bit of zing compared to just black pepper. And so I left the black pepper out and I used a little bit of crushed red pepper. It's a little bit. You that are really, really, really heat sensitive, the red curry paste, and the crushed red pepper in the curry powder might give you a little tingle on your tongue, but this is not at all hot enough to make you sweat or cry or anything like that. Not at all.
Yeah, I definitely have some curry powder in my cabinet. That will do that.
Well, yeah, I mean, we could talk about Thai curry and Thai curry, especially. So Indian curry is the heat of an Indian curry is going to be, it'll depend some anyway on where you live in the country. North, far north, very mild. Far south, it burns your hair off. That's what's going to happen to you people if you eat that kind of curry. Go to a Thai restaurant and just about anything that you order, curry especially, is going to be, do you want a number 1 through 10? And that's the amount of heat. And if you're like me and you want mild sauce from the Taco Bell for your tacos, then your Thai curry needs to be about a 0 or a 1 or a 2. If you like the Devil's Backyard sauce or Satan's barbecue sauce, then yeah, you probably go for the 8 or 9 or 10. I don't have anything to prove anymore. In my undergraduate days, fraternity pranks and stuff like that, you just try to get as hot as you can get and blah, 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 blah. I've grown up, and I value my exhaust pipe, and my guts inside, except I do drink Diet Dr. Pepper and Diet Pepsi, and that stuff kills you too. After you've let this go, after you've let this set, again, 3 or 4 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes, your shrimp is done. Everything's done. It's ready to go. So we are not going to present these on plates and everybody kind of show and share plate presentations. We're going to explore that in Food 2. And this will be one of my little commercials for Food 2. We will begin to learn plating principles then. So unless there are specific questions, some of you are still cooking. I'm happy to stay on until you get your curry finished, if you would like. If you're done and waiting and standing around, I'm not going to keep you from dinner, and I don't want your curry to cool down. So we're free to go. Eat your rice, put this in a bowl or on a plate, pour some of this curry like a sauce or gravy over the rice, and then squeeze the lime and a little sprinkle of the cilantro, and enjoy a delicious dinner. I'll have a good
Hey,
night.
Chef.
Yes.
Quick question.
Yeah.
If at any point during this, could you zest something into it?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, flavor?
Absolutely. Except, so if you wanted to zest lime, for example, to give it a little more of that flavor. So in answer to your question, Samuel, can you? The answer is yes. Should you? Just because you can do something doesn't always mean you should do something. 2 things happen. One, you overpower the curry because the zest of citrus, lime zest, is going to be really bold flavor. Number 2, especially with lime, the heat, the temperature heat from the curry, that lime is going to go bitter really fast. And so if you zest lime in it and then don't eat it all, put it in a container, warm it up in the microwave the next day, it's going to have a very, very definite bitter note to it. And that's the lime that has just set for a long time. It's not bad, but it can be a little off-putting on your palate. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does, Chef. Thank you.
You can. I don't think you should, but give it a try. See what happens. Don't.
I will not.
Chef, I got my son tasting it.
Oh,
Sure.
Is it good? He said yes.
hey, Tara. Yes, good observation. Listen, don't redo everything for your part B. Just, even if the best you can do is snap a picture of you in uniform with a little plate of your curry. That's fine. Give me. So I had forgotten that. This lab came from a previous class, and your part C of the lab, we 2 semesters ago, so last fall, we did pasta, and I didn't catch that in all the changes. Sometimes you miss a little thing. You do not need to make a tomato sauce and toss it with pasta and do that for your part C. If you guys will just shoot a little picture of your A plate, your rice and your curry and submit that for your part C of this week's lab. Instead of, it's worth studying what a Neapolitan is. That's a good use of, basil, concassade, tomato, minced garlic, diced onion. But so is this curry. And it's just, there we go. Cherokee, that cilantro is kind of a garnish now. So rice, the curry on top of it like a gravy. Squeeze some lime or don't squeeze lime, and sprinkle on some of that cilantro. Now, if you've never had cilantro, one or two of you may taste soap. If you taste soap when you taste cilantro, it's very interesting. A third of the planet have a certain gene that's dominant. You cannot control this. And if you taste soap when you taste cilantro, sorry, it is what it is, and you can't turn that off. If that's what you experience, then leave the cilantro off. I don't want you to, this is so good. I don't want you to experience shrimp curry by way of ivory soap. What else? Anything else from the peanut gallery?
And we do add the whole can of coconut milk, right?
Oh yeah, go ahead, add that. CK, it'll take a minute or two. It'll take maybe 3 or 4 minutes to let the whole pan, all of that will come to a boil. When the whole thing is boiling, then turn the heat off and add your shrimp. Once you've added your shrimp, you're going to be ready to eat in about 5 minutes.
Okay.
Do I add a whole thing of the red paste?
Okay, Kelsey, say that again.
Do I add the whole thing of red paste?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Interesting, Terry. You have to leave off the cilantro. Is that what you're talking about, leaving off? Yeah, because you got something to taste the soap.
That is correct, yes.
If I ever
I don't
taste
taste
soap,
it.
you don't?
I never taste it. I love cilantro.
I do too. I don't taste it either. But if I did ever taste soap, that just reminds me of growing up. And I used to say the S word a lot in my house. No,
Yes.
y'all, it's not what y'all think. In I was growing up, shut up was
Shut
the
up, yep. That's a curse word, baby.
everybody shut up, you're getting in my face, shut up.
Yep.
And I'd have to I'd wash your mouth out with soap.
Yeah.
I did that a lot.
Mhm.
Hey, quick question, Chef.
Yes, sir, Samuel.
Does this look right? Because I guess the tomato or the carrots and potatoes are a little bit big, so they stick out a lot more, but
Yeah, it looked good.
all right.
Exactly right. So the size, especially of the potato, they may still have a little bit of crunch to them,
You're good, baby. Come on.
but that's okay. It'll still be delicious.
Look at me.
Chef, I have a technical question.
Ask it. Alex, yes.
So let's say you forget to reduce your chicken stock enough. Would it be okay to reduce after you've added your coconut milk? Would it be okay to reduce it just a little longer to get that excess moisture out, to get that body that you need?
Absolutely. It will take just a little bit longer. You'll add the total time overall is going to end up being about the same. Reduction is simply removing water. If you didn't remove enough water of the stock when you added the coconut milk, the amount of water is still there. It's just going to take a little longer because now you've got more liquid volume. It'll take a little longer to reduce. Okay, Evelyn gives it's a delicious. Good.
Also, that question I had about the assignments, I got a little bit confused. Did you want to do that over the phone or over Zoom?
What were we doing over the phone or over Zoom?
I just got confused because I submitted shifting what I mentioned earlier, how I submitted.
I've got to check it in Blackboard. So stand by for any Blackboard messages. Something if I can't figure it out, if something was kind of wonky, then I'll let you know through Blackboard, and we go from there. Hey, y'all don't have to stay on camera to keep eating. We really are. We're done, and so y'all have a really good night. Enjoy dinner, and
Thank you.
nighty night.
Yeah, Chef.
All right,
Have a
thanks.
good night, Chef.
Bye bye.
Real live chef in the house, y'all. It's gonna be over the top.
Night, Chef.
Nighty night. See you later.